So this is the top of the tank. Got this ring that goes around here, keeps this on top. And these were standard military aux fuel connections. And the ones I've seen online had like 2. This one has 6. So what you could do is hook a standard military fuel line here, and it would run down and run a tent heater, or the aux port on a generator, military generator, several different things. This aluminum tank, you can see what's left of the lines that ran up here to the, they ran up to the connections. See, they've rotted off. So I'm gonna cut this off because I'm trying to get that brass nut off the steel. And then I'll get new seals because they're all dried out. I'll get a new seal to hold that down. So let me cut this off. Alright. This ring off. It's ring's pretty rusty. It seems to be in okay condition, other than the rust. So I can get a new bolt. Bolts are easy. So, yeah, see, there you go. That thing's warped like hell too. Now, see, they just had RTV. Of course, this trailer was being used for water, so I'll probably have a Vitrol gasket made, or some type of material that'll stand up to the fuel, to the diesel. A lot light in there now. And you see it's got the typical corrosion of aluminum that had water in it for a while. Now I should be able to fit in this hatch. Now you can see where this is on there, but you can see they just cut this pipe. And that goes down to your filter strainer that was down in the pit there. And there's stuff all back in the corners. So I'm gonna have to get down in here to clean it out. And I'll have to cut this off. So I'm gonna have an issue though, because I don't want to put a fuel line, a rubber hose between this and this, because a lot of that stuff's not designed to be submerged in the fuel. The interior material is designed to withstand the fuel. However, the exterior sheathing, it doesn't hold up to being submerged in fuel that well, usually. So I may have to come up with a hard pipe and then go over to this. I wish I could find a manual for this trailer, find out exactly what they did, but that's been difficult. It doesn't have an M series number. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Whew. Oh dang. Screw you, pollen. Anyway. So there's bolts down there. You can see there's kind of a clamp right there. And I'll probably take this pipe off. And then there's bolts underneath that bottom. Let's see if I can get that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it just disintegrated in my hand. They just left that sitting in there with the water. Yeah, it's just destroyed. So that'll all have to come out. But I think I can take that plate loose at the bottom and just drop that whole centerpiece out. And we'll go from there. I probably can cut this off. I don't know if the glue's on. I'll probably just break that off of there. And you can see that's upside down. And you can see the white, see the clear light? That's from the air vent. You can see the water level too. They probably kept this thing full of water in case they needed to go fight a fire or something. So, yeah, I'll take that center, because again, there's no drain valves in the bottom. I think there might be a plug, but I haven't seen for sure. I'll take that plate out of the bottom, take all of that out, and then I'll steam clean the inside of this tank. Now I'm going to leave it open in the atmosphere, because you should never, ever, 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 ever enter a confined space, which is a tank or any kind of room or compartment in any piece of equipment, without ventilating it first. You have fans, 4-strap blowers, people die. I mean, I could climb down in this, and even though there's this big hole, if there's bad fumes down in there or no oxygen, literally I could be out that fast. So you don't want to take a chance on it. Everybody's like, oh, you just stand up, oh, there's this big hole, you'll be fine, whatever. You don't know that. And you can't, sometimes you can't smell it, you don't know. There could be zero oxygen at the bottom of this tank. And rust consumes oxygen. I know this is an aluminum tank, but the corrosion still will do the same thing. If you have a steel tank and that thing's rusting inside, it's consuming the oxygen in that space. And like I said, a huge tanker trailer or on a ship or a barge or something, you could climb down in that tank and there is zero oxygen and you will pass out and die before anybody can get to you. And there's been cases where guys have gone down in tanks on ships and passed out, and their buddies go down there to help them, and 2 or 3 guys wind up at the bottom of a tank dead because there's just no oxygen. So you just got to be safe and careful. I had to get in a railroad tank car one time. I opened the valve up at the bottom and I put a box fan on top, and I let that thing run for 3 days. And then I climbed down inside. And even when I climbed down inside, I had somebody there the whole time, just in case. So you just can't be too careful. That was pounded into us at the steel mill, pounded into us in the Navy. It just, you can die real quick. And you know, we love working on this stuff. We love being odd and having all this cool equipment and everything, but you still got to play it safe. You don't want to take chances. It's your life. You only got one of those. So I'm going to leave this open. Yeah, these will probably just snap off. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't have a way to weld aluminum here. So if I break these off, I might have to weld that up. I may just cut them here and leave the plugs. They do have caps. So, or if I can find these bulkhead fittings, I can put them back in. But I don't need 6 auxiliary pickups. I mean, at most I'd need 1 to run our generator. I could put it on there and run it off 500 gallons. Hell, the thing would run for 2 years. So, but we'll see what the plan is for that. I may just abandon them in place, as it's called, if they're sealed up and they're not leaking. So, but I'll definitely get a good diesel seal for here and the center lid. I might go ahead and see if I can bust the nuts loose on that bottom piece, or I might wait till tomorrow. I'll probably wait till tomorrow. Sun's going down, so yeah, I'll just wait till tomorrow. No big rush. Oh, I actually found, I don't know if I said that in any of the other videos, that light is made by Grote, and they still make one. I can get that brand new. The numbers are still on it. I don't know if you can see them. And I looked it up, and Advanced Auto Parts. I'm not sponsored by Advanced Auto Parts. It'd be great if they did. Advanced Auto Parts can get them for like 15 bucks. Comes with that whole light bar and everything. So this is an aluminum pipe that the wire ran in down to a box, junction box. On a fuel trailer, they like to isolate all the electrics into a junction box, and everything's sealed in piping and for explosions. I mean, this thing was designed in the military to probably move gasoline and maybe even avgas. So you don't want to plug in the trailer lights with 500 gallons of avgas and they go bzz, because then this goes boom. So I mean, a short would burn through this aluminum tank in no time. So can't be too careful. Again, safety #1. So I'll leave this open, and I'll probably try to ring that off tomorrow morning. And I got to do some work to my steam cleaner. The nozzle keeps plugging up. I'm gonna have to take care of a clean supply of fuel for it. So I'll probably do that for tonight, and then that way tomorrow pop that out of the bottom and steam clean it. I can do that. That'll help draw air in there too. So, alright, well, that's all for this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.